Hello, my name is Mooncat and welcome to my Space Age Venus Day 1 recap and guide where I will talk about what I did on my live stream. I will guide you through that and talk about how I suggest you start this age, how to quickly get the energy cannon, which is the most important unit to get early on, and also how to prepare for the later units, and essentially how I suggest you start your town as a fighter. So yeah, that's what I'll do, and I'll do that by going through my live stream, quickly recapping it, and talking about what I do and why I did what I did. So, the first thing I did after aging up was to set up the colony. As you can see here, I placed down a lot of these floating shelters. Now, in the end, it actually didn't matter. In fact, I actually had to remove all of these again before they ever produced any credits. But if you are not as quick as I was, then I probably would still do this so that you are able to collect at least once before you replace them with the inflatable homes. And that was my main goal for my first couple of hours. That was to get enough goods and resources to unlock the inflatable homes and replace all of these homes, buildings you see here, with inflatable homes, because even though the floating shelters are okay, they are not able to sustain, they're not able to give you enough credits to get all the Venus carbon you need. To be able to run or scout for the Venus carbon 24/7, you do need the inflatable homes. So that was my main goal, and that is what I suggest you do as your first goal. And as you can see, I don't unlock any expansions, and I don't recommend you do that until you have a surplus of credits. So after that, I started on my way on rushing through the continent map. Now, this took quite a while. In fact, it took me the entire 4.5 hours or so. But I would recommend that you rush through the entire map, that you spend diamonds on rushing through the map while you do side quests, story quests, and recurring quests. Now, as you can see here, I start. Sorry, my voice is a little bit sore from the 4.5 hour live stream. Anyways, as you can see here, I started with 9,700 diamonds, but in the end, I ended up with over 11,000 diamonds. So if I go to my city here, okay, actually 11,000 now. I have spent some on rushing some siege camps. But I did have over 11,000 at the end. So even though I spent close to 2,000 diamonds rushing through the entire map because of story, side, and recurring quests, and the diamonds you get from the map itself, I ended up with more diamonds than I started with. So I would recommend rushing through the entire map. Now, initially when you do that, you want to work your way through the map while finishing off the side quests. Now, I ended up skipping a lot of side quests. In fact, if I go back to my city, I ended up skipping all of the quests that required you to unlock any of these technologies that I didn't unlock here. So for example, there is a side quest that asks you to unlock this. I skipped that, which gives you diamonds, so that's a shame. Same here. This gives you diamonds, this gives you goods, but I skipped both of those, because if I had to do that, I would have taken much longer to unlock this, because as you can see here, this one needs glowing seaweed, this one needs glowing seaweed, and this one needs glowing seaweed, so I ended up skipping both of these, which is a shame. Then I also skipped, I believe there was a quest for this. Is another diamond quest. I skipped that as well. So my goal was to get to recurring quests as quickly as possible. And I did that in around 1 hour. So I have some timestamps noted down here on my side. So after around 1 hour, I completed the last side quest, which asks you to get 180 of each Space Age Venus good. So here I traded with a friend. Just a simple circular trade so that I got all of them back again. He didn't waste any, only a few forge points, which I will recuperate. But in the end, I ended up getting that. And they can see there I got 600 of those diamonds I'm talking about, so quite a lot of diamonds. But yeah, after I completed that, I was on to my recurring quests, and then I quickly established a recurring quest loop that I did for the next couple of hours. So let me go through that loop and how I suggest or how I recommend that you do this, or how I did it, and I think it worked very well. So first part of the loop is this quest here, so win 12 battles without losing and defeat 40 units. So I did that on the continent map. Of course, you will be able to defeat more than 40 units doing 12 battles, but I decided to do both of these only once next to each other because it saved some times, and also you have to think about the new recurring quest limit. So after completing both of these on the continent map, I'll just abort them now to simulate that. Then you get to these two quests. Now, you might not have exactly this order. Then you do need to shuffle them around a little bit, which might be a little tricky, but basically what you have to do is you have to abort these strategically so that you get them after each other. But yeah, afterwards I had these two. I didn't do that too much, so hopefully this is the order you will have them in as well. So I had these two, and those two I completed simultaneously by first placing and deleting 2 of the Steel Fist Bunker, which I got from the side quests as I was doing them. And then where is it? Ooh, didn't mean to do that. And then 2 belt mining HQs, because these sell for quite a lot. I think it's the most expensive, might not be, but that worked well for me. So 2 of each of those meant that I completed both of these at the same time. Now after doing that, I had to abort a few here, so abort that, abort that. Then I did this quest here. I actually figured out that this was a quite nice combo to use. One observer drone, hopefully that works now. It worked fine. It works better than nail storms, at least for me. And then you need to gather 500 goods. So in my guild we set up a trading thread where a few of us posted some circular trades that you can take. So I'll take one now, and then next loop I'll take the other, and so on. So I completed that. And then this one, I actually set up all my blacksmiths on 4-hour production, sorry. And then I did complete that twice, but that's not a part of the main loop. So after that, I got to these two, the forge point loops. So here I either spent forge points in here. I spent on a few of my buildings, so my Alcatraz, my Ark, or in the guild thread here. Yep, I can do that. So I would take this, for example, take a spot here, castle. So 675. So I would do that, complete both of those. Just got some goods, that's nice. So, and then after those, you can do this if you want to buy 20 forge points, pay some supplies. I did it in the beginning, but for me it was simply a little bit too slow, so I ended up not doing it. But of course you can do this if you want to. So either abort or do that. And then here you have 2 quests which I did every now and then. Funnily enough, and still I haven't received a 4th incident, so I didn't do that, but I have set it up here so that every 2 hours I can collect some here. So collect, and then I set it up for another 2 hours, just selling some cheap stuff at the bottom here for 2 hours. So 4 of these on 2 hours and barter, so every 2 hours you can do that. And also this quest here, every 15 minutes, roughly every 15 minutes, if I'm allowed to get into my... Oh, there we go. I went into the tavern, bought this, the extra turn, which lasts for 15 minutes, and there we go, 2 more quests. And after that, abort, and we are back to the start. So I did that. Here again, I would go back to the continent map, do 12 fights, and repeat. So that is how my recurring quest loop looked like. So back to the video. I did that for another hour or 2. Then I had a little break. I did some guild expedition as well. So here I Okay, here I'm at level 2, but I had prepped level 1, so I completed level 1, but I hadn't picked up any relics. So I collected those, and then I did the remaining 3 levels in hopes of getting some goods. And actually, I didn't really get too much. I ended up getting, I believe, 1 200 goods relic, which I believe was soy protein, which I didn't really need. But I got quite a lot of blueprints actually, but sadly none of those were Flying Island, although it didn't really want to build that today anyway. So yeah, went through the entire guild expedition. And actually I also got some, was able to get some glowing seaweed, which was my bottleneck, and it will be your bottleneck. I was actually able to trade some of those from some neighbors, I believe, traded those. Probably not aware that you needed those, but yeah, I put up some trades just in case, and 2 of them were taken, so I got 200 goods there. And with those, and with recurring quests, I was finally able to, and with the help from a mate of mine, he lent me around 170, I believe, glowing seaweed, which I returned after I had completed the side quest, the technology. And that is something you can work out with a friend if you know that you will get further than him early on. If he lends you some goods, you will be able to do it quicker, and then you can return those goods when he is ready to do that trade. So that's what we did. He lent me some, I traded those back a little bit after the stream. So then after almost 4 hours, I was finally able to unlock the, where is it, the rotation equalizer. There we go. So after 3 hours and 42 minutes, yeah, around 3.5 hours into the into the age, I was able to unlock that, which meant it was time for me to reorganize my city. So here, if I go back a little bit here, you can see that I actually had to delete all of these without them having to produce anything. So for me, it would have been quicker if I didn't touch the colony early on. But if you think this entire process of recurring quests, scouting the map and so on to unlock the inflatable homes, if you think that will take more than 5 hours, then I would recommend that you do what I did and build all of these houses early on. So I deleted all of those, I placed down as many of these as I could. I believe I got in around 40, 45, something like that. And then yeah, after that I continued on the settlement, on the continent map, sorry, and yeah, went through that. So yeah, after that my collection was coming up. This will of course be different for each player. So around, yeah. So what I did, this again, I could have done this early on. I stored all the buildings in my city, and then I went through them in my inventory to see which one I wanted to renovate. And what I did is I made a spreadsheet on the side here just to check out how many one-up kits or renovation kits I needed. So yeah, I went through all of these, I wrote down what I needed, and then I applied that and renovated all the houses, or used one-ups on the houses I decided on doing. And for me, I ended up renovating all my sleigh builders, and I used one-up kits on most of my other event buildings to produce more goods. And in the end, I think my goods production was around 750 Space Age Venus goods. And then, of course, whatever we get from Himeji, Space Carrier, Guild Expedition, and Guild Battlegrounds, and so on. So, and then after that, I quickly did my Space Carrier and Himeji. I got some goods there. I believe I got 250 goods from my Space Carrier on one hit, but didn't get too much. Probably around 400 or 500 goods in total, which is quite nice. But yeah. And after that, I continued completing the map. I had a few more sectors to go, a few more provinces. It didn't take me too long. And then after that, or actually from the time that I placed down all these buildings here, actually let me just go back into my city. So after I had placed down all of these, the next step of the city is to, of course, wait for these to be done. And when these are done, in 2 hours for me, I will go to the continent map. I will use those on this, I will get around 80,000 credits, so I will be able to do this 4 times. I will spend diamonds to do this 3 or 4 times, depending on how much I need. And then I will unlock the energy cannon. Here I need 450 Venus carbon, and I actually got the Venus carbon from my space carrier, so that was nice. So in 2 hours I will use diamonds to rush here to get to unlock this. I will place down this in my city, and then I will level up my Alcatraz. So originally during the stream for a long time I made sure not to collect that, but then when I collected my city I kind of forgot, and I ended up using that 5 diamond as I do when I collect, which of course collected that as well. I could have deleted that, and I really should, because I will delete that. I do have a few more in my inventory, so I should have deleted that, left that on. But in any case, it's not a big deal. I will level up. I will probably do a couple more levels. And then after that, I will wait until I get the Power Dragon. And that brings me on to my next steps on how to get the Power Dragon. So, as you can see here, after I've completed that, I need to complete these quests here, this and this, to get the Power Dragon. So these upper quests here, I can completely ignore these, and I will. Of course, I would like this expansion, but I don't need it yet. So my main goal now is to get the Power Dragon. And for that, I need a lot of carbon. So here 450, 550, and here 750, 850, so a lot of carbon. So my main goal going forward is to collect as much carbon as possible. I can use some diamonds, but I probably will not use a lot of diamonds, because I also need a lot of sugar crystals. I believe in total you need around 4,500. You can see in my spreadsheet exactly how much you need. Or I think it's actually closer to 5,000 sugar crystals. So you need a lot of sugar crystals. And even though I would like to do a lot of recurring quests going forward, I'm quite busy in real life. So realistically, going forward, I will not do that. I will rely on my passive income. So I don't know, it'll probably take me a couple of days, I don't know, a week perhaps, to unlock this. But I will slowly do that while I produce carbon. And then I will also, I was quite lucky in this regard. If I go back into my town here, and if you look at my goods buildings, I am actually able to produce sugar crystals. So I will probably, I will have to think a little bit about it, but I think I might actually build some of these, because I do think it'll be easier to collect the Venus carbon than the sugar crystals I need. So I will probably place this. I'll also try to trade a little bit. But yeah, that's how I'm gonna do it go forward. I'm gonna get the goods I need here. I'm gonna try to trade the goods I don't need for sugar crystals. I'll try to produce a few sugar crystals. I'll get the Venus carbon, and then I'll unlock the Power Dragon. I will do a couple of Alcatraz levels, and I should have a lot of those to play with. So that is a recap and my guide on how to do day 1, or how I did day 1, with a lot of recurring quests, a lot of fighting on the map, a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun on my live stream. If you want to watch the entire live stream, the link is in the description. It might be a little bit boring, but you can go through that, skip ahead where you want to see. And yeah, with that, I think I will leave it there. I think we'll leave it there with a nice view of the HQ, which is definitely my favorite looking HQ. I really like the style of it. So yeah, that's it for now. My voice is almost done, so I need to take a break now. And don't expect me to make too many videos in the future. I do have a series on the Vikings coming up in a couple of weeks, probably around 2 weeks or so. And in a couple of days on the beta server, the new event will come out, so I will cover that. But other than that, I will be quite busy the next couple of weeks and months, so don't expect too much from me. But yeah, that's about it for now. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for joining my stream if you watched that. Take care, and I will see you in the future.